Hello students. So let us continue with chapter 12 electricity. In the previous video you have studied the topic heating effect of electric current. You know that when electric current flows through any conductor it becomes hot. In any electric circuit the energy which is supplied to the circuit by the cell or the battery, it is actually used, part of this energy is used to do some useful work and rest goes wasted in the form of heat, because rest gets converted in the form of heat which is undesirable is in most of the cases, and hence where it is undesirable it is considered to be wastage of energy. And also when heat is generated and the conductor becomes hot, then its temperature increases, and you know that when temperature increases the properties of the conductor or the component gets altered. As I think so you have studied in your lower classes that density depends upon temperature. In your 9th class also you have studied the density of any material varies with temperature. At a given temperature it is constant. So density will vary. In 10th class you have studied that resistivity varies with temperature. So there are other properties also which vary with temperature. Okay, so it's going to affect the working of that component through which it flows if the temperature increases. So we can consider that it is undesirable in most of the cases. But then heating effect has many useful applications also. There are devices which are based on the heating effect of electric current, or we can say there are appliances which are the applications of Joule's heating. Joule's heating, you know what is Joule's heating? Then when the circuit is purely resistive, then the entire electrical energy gets converted in the form of heat energy, because there is no other work to be done in that circuit. It is purely resistive, combination of resistors only. So here the entire electrical energy gets converted into heat and it is desirable. So I hope you know the names of such devices: electric kettle, electric heater, electric toaster, electric geyser, and so on. So now let us see practical applications of heating effect of electric current. We will be studying the applications which are given in NCERT textbook. So first application here is electric bulb. Now every one of us has seen an electric bulb, and every one of us has electric bulb or bulbs at home. Now in electric bulb, we know that electric bulb requires energy, and the energy which is supplied to electric bulb, in this case, suppose if we don't have a circuit, we are getting energy from outside which is supplied. Okay, so then through the wires electric current flows, and then electric bulb becomes very hot. Electric bulb means its filament. You must have seen the filament in the bulb. It becomes very hot and then it starts glowing. So overall, if I ask you what transformation of energy takes place when electric bulb glows, you can say electric energy gets converted into heat energy and light energy. Remember, first it gets converted into heat energy, and only when large amount of heat energy is produced, then we get light energy. Now, in electric bulb, you must have seen the filament. Here, the filament which is used in bulb, it must retain as much of the heat generated as is possible, so that it gets hot and emits light. It means filament should retain whatever heat is generated. It should retain the heat so that its temperature increases, it gets very hot and then it emits light. So if it gets very hot and then it emits light, it means the temperature is very high, and at such temperature the filament should also not melt. So these are the two conditions required for the filament of an electric bulb. One, it must retain as much of the heat generated as is possible so that it gets hot and emits light. And second, it must not melt at such high temperature. Now we know what type of filament is used in an electric bulb. A strong metal, tungsten. It is a rare metal. A strong metal, tungsten, which has high melting point 3380 degrees Celsius is used for making bulb filament. Now, if the question is name the filament, name the material which is used for making electric bulb filaments, you can write tungsten. Why? You can write these 2 points. So, basically it is a strong metal having very high melting point, and you can write these 2 things because of which this tungsten is used. Now, in bulb, if I ask you what are name the gases which are usually filled in bulb, so answer will be chemically inactive nitrogen and argon gases. Why chemically inactive? So that they don't react with the filament of the bulb, that is tungsten. So chemically inactive nitrogen and argon gases are filled in bulb so that the filament is in contact with nitrogen or argon gas, and that is chemically inactive. So this will prolong the life of filament. So which gases are usually filled in bulb? Chemically inactive nitrogen and argon gases. Why? To prolong the life of filament. Now remember students, in case of bulb, most of the power consumed, I have used here NCERT language, most of the power consumed. What is power? Energy consumed in unit time, that is 1 second. Even if it is, you write most of the energy consumed, it will be okay. Most of the power consumed by the filament appears as heat, and a small part of it is in the form of light radiated. So, as we have studied before also, that electric energy which is supplied gets converted into large amount of heat energy and small amount of light energy. I hope these things which we have discussed related to bulb, like filament, gases, these topics are clear to you. Let us move to the next application now. So now let us see about fuse. Fuse is a safety device which is used in electric circuits. Now in expensive circuits where expensive components or devices are there we always have fuse. Remember, fuse is also, you can find fuse where you have the main switch board at your home. See, in your home, when you see where your house main switch is there, from where you can stop and give the supply of electric current to the entire domestic circuit of your house, you will find many fuse there. So let us see fuse here. It is a safety device used in electric circuits, and in the next chapter you will also see that it is a safety device which is used in domestic electric circuits. Now it protects, what is its purpose? It protects circuits and appliances by stopping the flow of any unduly high electric current. You know that in any circuit we have positive and negative wires or live and neutral wires. One is at high potential, one is at low potential. We are not discussing domestic electric circuit in detail. We are talking about any circuit. In any circuit, you have two wires, one at high potential, one at low potential. Okay. So, when we talk about this fuse, it protects the circuits and appliances by stopping the flow of any unduly high electric current. For example, in domestic electric circuit, you must have seen two wires, live wire and neutral wire. Live is at high potential, neutral wire is at low potential. So if suppose, let us say, due to overheating, the insulation of the wires gets melted, then what will happen? They will come in contact and large short circuiting will take place. So large amount of current will flow. So this is one example how large current can flow in case of domestic electric circuit. Again, here also, in any other electric circuit also, there may be some problem because of which high electric current will be there. But high electric current, what will happen? It may damage your devices or appliances. So what is the purpose of fuse? What it is actually you should know, then only you will understand its purpose. Okay, let us see. Now it consists of a piece of wire made of a metal or an alloy of appropriate melting point. It consists of a piece of wire. So fuse is nothing but it is a piece of wire actually, which is either made up of a metal or an alloy, and it has appropriate melting point, neither very low nor very high. Example, so material generally which is used to make the filament of this fuse: aluminium, copper, iron, lead, etc. These are the examples given in NCERT textbook, so you should remember these examples. Now, how is fuse placed? We know that in series electric circuit, same current flows through the circuit and so through all the devices which are connected in the circuit. So fuse is always placed in series with the device, because if any high current will flow, then this wire which is having appropriate melting point, when high electric current will flow through the circuit, then this wire, piece of wire, it gets melted and then the circuit is broken and the appliances will be protected or saved. So here fuses which are generally, there is rating given on every fuse. So fuses used for domestic purposes are rated as 1 ampere, 2 ampere, 3 ampere, 5 ampere, 10 ampere, etc. So first it is 1, 2, 3, then see the multiples of 5 are there. Ampere means current, it is a unit of current. So if you are using in a circuit fuse of 1 ampere, it means if current flowing through the circuit will be more than 1 ampere, then the fuse wire will melt and the circuit will be broken. If the rating of the fuse is 5 ampere, then if the current through the circuit somehow increases and it becomes more than 5 ampere, then the fuse wire will melt. It will not allow the current to go beyond that. So if the current is more than 5 ampere, fuse which is connected in series with your device, okay? And in case of domestic electric circuit, when you talk about the fuse which you have at home, those fuses are connected in series with a live wire. Remember that. How fuses are connected in your domestic electric circuits? They are connected in series with the live wire. Here we are talking about just any electric circuit. So we will say that fuse is always placed in series with the device. And for domestic electric circuit, remember, placed in series with the live wire. So if a current, larger than the specified value flows through the circuit, the temperature of the fuse wire increases, which will melt the fuse wire and thus breaks the circuit and hence protects the device. So expensive devices which can be protected or can be saved by using fuse in their circuits. I hope this is clear to you. Now I'll show you a fuse which is used in your homes. See, this is a fuse. See, you can see here the wire. See, this is a fuse wire, filament of the fuse. So generally this fuse wire is enclosed in the porcelain cartridge. So this is a material which is insulating material. It has two metal ends and the fuse wire is connected to the two metal ends, and it can be inserted in a socket and hence the circuit will be completed and the current will flow through your supply. Let us say to any room the current is supplied through this fuse. If I remove the fuse, current will not flow. And if I insert this into the socket, then if the current, let us say here spacing is 5 ampere, rating is 5 ampere. If the current through this wire is more than 5 ampere, then this wire will melt and then your appliances which are connected to that circuit will be protected. Okay, because if the wire is broken, this is actually connected in series with the live wire of your house. So your appliances will be saved. I hope you have understood this fuse. You have understood what type of filament is used in fuse and how it works. So it is another application. So two applications of fuse heating we have seen today. First was electric bulb and this is electric fuse. Now let us see what is electric power, and this will be the last topic of this chapter. Now students, you know the definition of power which you have done in your 9th class You know, power is rate of doing work, power of any body or any appliances, rate of doing work or work done in unit time. Or we can say it is a rate of consumption of energy. Now, when we say electric power, so let us use the different words for its definition. Although if you write any of these two also, it will be okay. Electric power is the rate at which electric energy is dissipated or consumed in an electric circuit. So, you prefer please to define electric power as rate. It is a rate at which electric energy is dissipated or consumed in an electric circuit. Okay. Now you have seen this formula for power, electric power, in the previous video when we were deriving an expression for Joule's heating, law of Joule's heating, okay, or Joule's law of heating, that is H is equal to I square RT. So in that case we have used this, that P is equal to V into I, where P is electric power, V is the potential difference and I is the current. Now in this case, if we use this expression for, just remember this expression for power, okay, so when voltage and current through any conductor, these values are known, you can find the electric power by using this formula. Otherwise, general expression we know, power is work done in unit time, energy consumed in unit time. So we have the basic formula, P is W upon T and E upon T. That also you should remember. Now using Ohm's law, by substituting for V and then for I, we can write the expression for P as Ohm's law. You know the mathematical form of Ohm's law, V is equal to IR. So when you use V is equal to IR, this will become IR into I square R. So here I have used Ohm's law to put an expression for V. Similarly, when you put an expression for I, when V is equal to IR, I is V by R. Okay. So I square will be V square by R square. One R will get cancelled, and so we can also write power as V square by R. So just by using P is equal to VI and by using Ohm's law, you can easily get these other two expressions for power also. Okay. Now, what is the SI unit of power? You must have done this in your 9th class also. It is watt. See, and from that we know that watt is equal to joule per second. 1 watt is 1 joule per second. You have done in your 9th class that 1 watt is power of the body which does 1 joule of work in 1 second, or which consumes 1 joule of energy in 1 second. That definition is also fine, but in your 10th class now, the definition which they have given in NCERT for 1 watt is by using this expression, P is equal to VI. So, in this case, we can also, now I told you that watt is equal to joule per second. Watt from this expression, it is also equal to V. What is the unit of potential difference? Volt. What is the unit of current? Ampere. So, watt, which is SI unit of power, is also equal to volt ampere. So, we can write 1 watt is 1 volt ampere. You can write at the end 1 volt ampere. Okay. Now, how will you define this watt? By using this expression. 1 watt is the power consumed by a device that carries 1 ampere of current when operated at a potential difference of 1 volt. It means in this expression, when I is 1 ampere, V is 1 volt, then power of the device is 1 watt. So you can write this in your own words also, that power of an electric device is 1 watt when 1 ampere current flows through it, when the potential difference applied across it is 1 volt. So 1 watt is 1 volt ampere. Now watt is a very small unit of power. So we have bigger units like kilowatt and megawatt. 1 kilowatt is 1000 watts and 1 megawatt is 10 raised to 6 watts. Now we know that power is energy divided by time. So energy is power into time. So energy is power into time. the unit of electric energy is generally not taken as SI unit is joule, but generally the unit which is used for electric energy is watt into hour, watt hour. So unit of electric energy is watt hour, W, small gap and then small h. Okay, this is the unit which is used for electric energy, remember that, although it is not the SI unit. So how will you define 1 watt hour? 1 watt hour is the energy. You know it is a unit of energy. So you can write 1 watt hour is the energy consumed when 1 watt power is used for 1 hour. Now, this you have studied in your 9th class, that commercial unit of electric energy is kilowatt hour. I have told you that watt hour is a unit of electric energy, but if the question is give the commercial unit of electric energy, then you will say it is kilowatt hour. Remember, small k, capital W, leave little gap and then small h for hour. This is also commonly called as unit. It means if you say 20 units are used, 20 units means 20 kilowatt hour energy has been used. Now let us see what is the relation between this commercial unit of electric energy, that is kilowatt hour, and the SI unit, that is joules. 1 kilowatt hour can be written as 1 kilowatt into 1 hour. 1 kilowatt is 1000 or 10 raised to 3 watts into 1 hour is 3600, that is 16 to 60, 3600 seconds. When you simplify this and write in the scientific notation, you get the answer as 3.6 into 10 raised to 6 watt second. But you know watt second is nothing but joules. So 1 kilowatt hour is 3.6 into 10 raised to 6 joules. I hope you have understood the topics which we have done today, and you have understood all the videos of this chapter electricity. So theory part is over. We'll continue with this chapter doing the numericals part of the chapter in the next coming videos. So thank you students. Please keep in touch.